Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're actually going to be playing Palindrome. You can't quite see the full title because I couldn't really make it work. It's Palindrome and then Palindrome again, but in a mirror, which is why you see that in the thumbnail here that you've got Sleuth standing in front of a mirror, oddly in some sort of a castle with arrows and I'm guessing bows, probably just out of the camera shot surrounding that mirror. And all of that will be a little bit clear when you see today's grid, which is, unsurprisingly, going to be about palindromes and arrow sum rules. Not a lot more to say about this introduction. Let's just get straight stuck in and with today's rule sets as well. So, what do we have in store for today? We've got palindrome. The square there that you see there is just basically the P mirror image. I just couldn't find a font that would allow me to do this, by Daniël Rokven. And you can see very much a mirror image of some sort here down the middle. So essentially all of the clues seem to be vertically mirrored across column 5. So for those of you that were critical of rotational symmetry the other day, good news, not necessarily going to be applicable today. I don't actually think... I've never really thought about mirrors and whether they actually have the same type of constraints. Interesting thought process. I'll definitely think about it later. So, rules-wise, we've got normal Sudoku rules. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. You're all very familiar with this one. Then we have the double arrows. So the sum of the digits along the double arrow line is equal to sum of the digits in the circles at either end of the line. One double arrow goes from row 1, column 4, row 1, column 4, column... Yeah, I'm in the right spot. To row 7, column 5, excuse me. And the other goes from row 1, column 6 to row 7, column 5. So essentially these lines. I'm sorry, I'm just pausing for a moment, trying to think what that actually means. Because we've got killer cages showing that these circles are, they can't be the same, they're in the same box. So there is an arrow this way. Double arrows, the sum of the digits along a double arrow line is equal to the sum of the digits in the circles at either end of the line. Got it. So these cells add up to a value, and this value must be something that we can write in these two circles. Now this arrow adds up to some value, and these two circles must be able to sum up to this value. Probably should have read the rules in advance, but that took a bit of thinking about that. Right, killer cages kind of tells you what the sum of these arrows are. Digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner if given of the cage and cannot repeat. So essentially these two cells must sum up to 11, and they cannot repeat. They're in the same box anyway, they cannot repeat. These three cells must sum up to 6. These two cells must sum up to 6. These are all the cages that I can see in today's grid. Then we have the palindrome line, which is in sea green today. So digits on a palindrome line read the same forwards and backwards. Also, the first 3 digits and the last 3 digits of a palindrome line are also a Renban line. I don't think Daniel needed to tell us that. Did he? I think for this one he probably did. Did he? Sorry, I'm confusing myself now. No, he didn't. I'll explain that as part of the solve problem. Actually, I'll do it now. Essentially, these 3 cells are going to be in some sort of mirror image. So let's say it's A, B, C, and then obviously they would have to be C, B, A to actually satisfy the palindrome rule set. They must read the same forwards and backwards. But what you can also see as part of this construction is that we're talking about roping. So I've placed down A, B, and C, A, B, and C. So make of that what you will, but I think these Rembrandt lines are somewhat superfluous to, well, I mean, they're not superfluous. Explaining the rule that it's actually, they're also palindrome lines is superfluous when you understand roping. And I feel like I revealed a bit too much there. Right, let's keep going. I feel like I'm really messing up today's rules. Rembrandt lines, the purple lines. Every Rembrandt line contains a set of consecutive digits in any order without repeats. So for example, if this was a 2, this could be 1 and 3, or it could even be 3 and 4. Now, that would be a set of non-repeating consecutive digits in any order. What I can't do is have 2, 3, 5 in here instead without the 4. That would be kind of asking for trouble because they're no longer consecutive. Anything else? Yeah, we've got XVs, cells joined by an X or a V must sum up to 10 or 5 respectively. So these two cells must sum up to 10. If that was a 2, for example, this would have to be an 8. And these two cells must sum up to 5. If that was a 1, this would have to be a 4 to make sure that they do sum up to 5. Not all X's and V's are given, so that 4 having a 6 next to it is not a problem. That 2 having a 3 next to it is also not a problem. They sum up to 5 without a V, they sum up to 10 without an X. So hopefully a few of you skipped today's rules and you just jumped straight to the solve as a reference, because I did kind of reveal a bit too much, I think, as part of the explanation. But never mind. Palindrome. Link in the description down below as usual for you to play along. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock, see how I get on. So there's a lot to be said about these double arrows. First off, this is 1, 2, 3. A cage of 3 cells that add up to 6 is forced. It is the minimum, which is 1, 2, and 3. They add up to 6. Now, what's also interesting about these double arrows is that this 1, 2, 3, this 6 cage, adds to an 11 cage to get to 17. So that immediately makes these two cells like fairly high to be able to get to 17. And in fact, it is forced in 2 cells. The only way, even though they can repeat, I can have a double 8 or a double 9, the fact that it is an odd digit, very helpful, tells me they're different, and this is 1 is an 8, 1 is a 9. Now, we're going to keep this going. These cells add up to 17. These cells only add up to 12. There's a difference of 5 between the 17 and the 12. Yep, that is 5. So essentially, whatever this cell is, this is 5 less. So it's either 3 or 4 to allow us to get to essentially the same setup in here. Now, what happens if this is, because I'm just taking a look at this 6 now, and I'm actually wondering what happens if it is a 4. That would become 1, 5. That would have to be 5 more. That would be 9. I think that's achievable. I don't think that's necessarily going to get us into trouble. Okay, moving on. I don't know if I should be moving on, but yeah, I mean, there's so much to be said about today's rule set. Right. So Daniel mentioned that all of these are here. I'll show you what I mean first by roping, then we'll get on to actually solving it. So imagine that these cells are from the blue set. Because of the palindrome rule set, these are also going to be from the blue set. Now, I don't know what these are. Only thing I know is they're not blue. So let's say that they are from the yellow set. And again, because of palindromes, they're yellow. Lastly, I know that these are going to be red. They're not blue or yellow. And therefore, these are the only remaining red cells that we have in box 7. Now, just take a look at what we have with this roping effect. Because these are blue and these are blue, where can you put blue in box 1? Well, they can only be in here. And because of the palindrome, they're reflecting back in there. Yellow, you can see now, is on top of a Rembrandt. So you see what I mean now earlier by the fact that this didn't need to be called out as a Rembrandt. And then lastly, we have in here red. Now there's so much more we can do now just with this coloring that I've just done. So notice that this V here, so all of these are rem bands. So essentially what we're talking about is the digits 1, 2, 3, one set, 4, 5, 6, another set, and then lastly 7, 8, and 9. It's just a bit of a shame that I actually went with blue, yellow, red in that order. The interesting thing here is that these two digits have to be 1 and 4. Because the only way I can make 5 in two cells would be either 2, 3 or 1, 4. Now remember, I said each of these sets are either 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, 6 or 7, 8, 9. Sorry about kind of the overlaps. Therefore, I can't have 2, 3 across sets. It can only be one from one set, another from another set, and therefore it can only be 1 and 4. Stay with me here. Now, which one of these can actually be a 4 from 1 and 4? Well, it can't be the blue one. Sorry, which one of these can be a 1? Well, it can't be the blue one because 1, 2, and 3 are gone. So this is 4, 5, 6. 1, sorry, the yellow is 1, 2, 3. I'm in trouble already. Yeah, I'm in trouble. Oh, that's an X. For a second there, I thought this was a white crop dot or something. That's not a problem. These are from 7, 8, 9. So yeah, that X is totally fine. These and these are from 7, 8, 9. Now, keep going. This is 1, 2, 3 because of the X's. And then we'll have to think about it a bit more again. 4, 5, 6, 11. Without 4, 5, and 6, this is starting to get quite tricky. Essentially, my only options that are left, because 5 and 6 are gone, 4 and 7 are gone, my last set of options are either 2, 9 or 3, 8. So 2, 9, 3, 8, which means I've used my 8, 9s. I have a loose 2, 3 between the 1, 2, 3s, and that's completed now. Where does 7 go in column 4? That's the only place for a 7. Is that the first digit after all of these revelations? Goodness me. Right, that's a 7. I did say that is a 4 and 1. I just didn't use it. That's not a 1. That's not a 4. Neither of these are 1. Neither of these are 4. Remember, there is a palindrome, so that tells us again that this is a 1. This is a 4. We can keep that sort of dream going here. That doesn't have to be the same. That doesn't, well, I mean, that is a palindrome, so that is not a 4 anymore. Can I do anything else? This is 7, 8, 9. This is 7, 8, 9. Remember that these are, I mean, I'm going to lose the colors for a second because I want to check what's going on the right-hand side. So, right-hand side, we've got essentially something very similar going on here with roping. So these are blue. Let's say these are yellow. That's yellow. Where can blue go now in box 3? It can only be in here. That's red. That's red. That's red. And we've colored all of them. Now, interestingly now, this time round, blue is in these digits. I've already placed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is another 7, 8, 9. These are therefore 7, 8, 9. I'm going to just do the whole lot quickly. That can't be a 7. That can't be a 7 because of this 7. So not 7's in here. I'm sure I can do something with this. So can this be 1, 4? Yes, that would be a double 2, 3. Can this be 2, 3? No, because that would break this cell. So this is definitely 1, 4. Not very helpful. It doesn't tell me whether this is 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, 6. I just need to think about that a bit more. So 1, 4. So essentially I've got a quadruple in here. And then the only digit that I have left, or the only kind of leftover digits, are 5 and 6, which tells me that this is the 4, 5, 6 setup. That's 4, 5, 6. That is not a 4. That is not a 4 either. This wasn't a 4. This wasn't a 4 because of the 1, 4 pair. That isn't a 4 in here because of Sudoku. That's not a 4. That is a 4 now. These two are. which means that's a 1, that's a 4. I mean, we knew that's already a 1 because this is the 1, 2, 3 Remban. That's 1, 2, 3. That's not a 1. That's 1, 2, 3. There's nothing I can remove in here. And this is 4, 5, 6. Now, has that actually helped me with my 6? Yes, it has. That 4 removed the 2, 4 option. This is a 1, 5 option. That 3, remember that had to be 5 away, exactly, not 5 or more, 5 exactly away. That's the 8, that's the 9, that's the 1. That's not a 1. That's not a 1 either. That's the only place for a 1. That 3 removes 3s from here. I mean, I can complete this by writing in, is it 2 and 6 to complete the column? Yes, it is. Right, that 1 removes 1 from here, therefore that's not a 9. I mean, that's already not a 9 anyway because it's in there. That's not a 9 either, therefore on the palindrome that's not a 9 either. Right, that 8 tells me that this is not a 3-8 pair, that's a 2-9 pair. And therefore this is a 3, that's a 7, that's not a 7. This is the 7, this is now an 8, this is a 9, right. It should start to collapse fairly quickly from here, just purely because of the palindrome nature of this. Once you start to unravel a few of it, it will just go fairly quickly. That's got to be a 9 with the 1, 9. Neither of these are 9. That's got to be an 8 because of the 7, 8. So that's 8, that's 7, and we're repeating 8, 7, and 9. 8 and 9 in here means that is a 7. That is not 7 or 8. That is a 9. That gives me a 1 in here. That's an 8. That's a 2. That's a 3. Does that 1 give me something? Yes, it does. That's 5. That's 1. Not normally a fan of over pencil marking like I have, but it is just so smoothly flowing from here. I think just because it's such a structured looking puzzle, it's very easy to look across and just determine what you need to take out. That's a 1, for example. That is not 1 or 3. That's a 2. That's 3. I think the 4, 5, 6 for the moment are not resolved. We've got a 4, 6 pair. That tells me that there's a 7 in the middle. That can still be a 4. So this is another 4, 5, 6. It is in fact a 4, 6, not a 5. I'm guessing that's the last 4, 6 in the box. Yeah. Right. That 2 tells me that's not, oh, in fact, that is just forced. That is a 1. That is a 9. That is an 8. 2, 3 pair, that was resolvable earlier. That's a 2. That's a 3. That's a 2. That is a 3 now. That's a 2. That's a 2. That's a 3 on the palindrome. 5 and 6. Yep, that 6 gives me more. 6, 6, 5. Right, surely a bit more now. Not a 6. In fact, here is better. That's a 5. That's a 6. That's a 5. That's a 6. That's a 4. 4. Not 4 or 5. That's 6. That's 5. That's 5. That's 6. That gives me 4, 6. That is a 5. That is a 4. That is a 6. The 2s and 3s are not really resolved here. What am I missing? Right, that 8. 2, 3, 2, 3, 7, 9. Right, a couple of digits here of Sudoku and we're done. We're missing 8 and 5. 8 goes here, and if I've not made any other mistakes, 5 for the solution. 5 not for the solution. What have I missed? They're adding up to 5, they're adding up to 10, they're adding up to 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 5. They are palindromes, 5, 4, 6, 6, 4, 5, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. I reversed that one. Ouch. Fixing that will be a bit of a pain. Half tempted to rewind. I'm sorry, everyone. Don't know when I actually messed that up. Right. Better. 4, 6, 5, 5, 4. That makes that 6, 6, 5, 5. This is 6, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 9, 8, 7. Right, this time around, 5 and 8. Lovely. Beautiful puzzle, Daniel. Just lovely construction. And you can't see really anything about the mirror. There's nothing about it. I will play around with it a bit later, just to get a sense of whether there's something there like rotational symmetry with mirrors, but certainly not something that I've ever heard before. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video. I think the video was pretty good, other than just messing up one of the palindromes. I'm sure a few of you shouted at your screen when I did that. And check out some of the palindrome puzzles that we featured on the channel. It's just such a lovely rule that allows you to create some amazing puzzles. I'm really getting to enjoy some of the recent palindrome puzzles we featured. So have a look at that playlist next. Bye-bye for now.